Alright guys, so we kind of wanted to do a spring planting update since we never really put anything out on the channel. And I'm standing here in front of our largest field of beans that we've planted this year. And as with a lot of guys this year, we had a ton of issues trying to get everything planted. It was a super wet spring and nothing was cooperating. We ended up getting in and planting our pasture field first, and that one's looking really good right now. The beans are pretty tall. And I'm really confident that's going to turn out all right. All we did for prep work is we sprayed that field or that pasture ground. It had the kill off, and then we planted. We haven't even fertilized this year because there was cattle up in that pasture, and we figured for what we're doing it's good enough, and those beans are looking awesome. After getting that field planted, we were testing out our new $2,700 planter that we got off Craigslist, so it worked pretty perfect for what we're doing. And after like about 2 more weeks, it was just raining constantly on and off. We finally got a break in the weather on a weekend that allowed us to come down here and attempt to plant, and that's when we did this great big field. Now, in the beginning, we were originally going to be planting this entire field in different items. But since it was so wet and with our time constraints, we decided to only do about, 10, maybe 12 acres of beans?
Yeah, about 12.
About 12 acres of beans. This portion right here, Dad was able to go out and till it twice. And then there's another portion over here. You can start to see there's a little more weeds. Our disc actually broke in the middle of the field down there, so we have a dead disc down there that we got to fix eventually, probably here in a couple weeks, and get it moved. So only got one tillage done, and then we sprayed it, and then, no, we didn't even get to spray it. So we did the tillage,
yep. And
then we planted it, which we have footage of planting it. It was kind of wet for what we were doing,
very
but
wet.
We just gave it heck. It was already June, so we had to get it planted, so we just planted it and said, let's hope it works. And it worked. Plants came up really quick since there was so much moisture in the ground. We didn't fertilize this at all either. And then the weeds were starting to pressure it. So I think it was 2 to 3 weeks ago, we went through and we sprayed Liberty, because these are Liberty beans, and we got the complete burn off. You can see there's still some weeds here in the field, but for what we're doing, like I said, it does not matter.
We forgot to buy a combine.
Yeah, we forgot to buy a combine, so we're just not going to do anything with it. We're just going to let it be here for deer, and it's going to work out perfect. We have a lot of food this year, and it's going to completely change the movement here on the property. From last year, there was like no deer like feeding on us, to this year, like all around deer are going to be coming in here. It's going to be pretty awesome. So we got like 12 acres of beans planted here, and then over the hill and around the bend, we've got some more beans planted through. It's a little more weedy there, like I said, but then in some of those fingers, we wanted to do sorghum, but the ag co-op that we went to that weekend didn't have any sorghum. He had a wildlife mix, and in that wildlife mix there was millet, sorghum, soybeans, and sunflowers. And so we're like, okay, let's just plant that. And we were kind of rushing it too much, and that one is going to be really weedy, but we just kind of wanted all that stuff there for cover. And looking at it in some of the other places, and we're going to go back and look at it here, there's still sorghum coming up, and that's what's important. We wanted to try to give a lot of really good late season foods just mixed throughout,
and a little bit more cover.
Right, and it's going to provide a whole bunch more cover to just allow deer more places to live. So overall, that's our update here. Everything's looking good, and I'm honestly partially surprised because it was a really rough year getting everything ready to go in a short period of time. But overall, it's going to turn out good. I can't wait. Here in a couple of weeks, we're going to be probably coming out to some of these areas and doing some summer filming, so it should work out pretty good. And I forgot to point out, we did miss out on our original plan of, we had about 12 more acres that we were originally going to be planting some alfalfa, beans, and switchgrass in another field that's closer to the road. But since it was so wet and we were so rushed on time, we just honestly left it this year. And I think we're going to do some fall food plots in there to just try to recover a little bit of it. But this field was the main priority just because it was in the center of our property, and we'd rather pull deer to the center of us than we would to the road or the neighbor's property. So this is just a big pile of beans that the deer are gonna have a hard time eating all of. So yeah, that's why we did that. So hopefully here later this summer you guys are gonna see us doing stuff up there, trying to get a little bit more food established before the winter. And yeah, it should turn out pretty good. So I'm pretty pumped, pretty excited. And if you guys like the video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button and to subscribe. And thanks for watching.